What's going on, everybody? It's just another day in the kitchen, back with another episode, and in today's video we're taking a look at the latest merch from King Vamp, aka Playboi Carti here, and the rest of his Opium crew, so stay tuned for much more. Now before we get started, I want to give a special shout out to the homie Strain Beats, who's been cooking up the beats for these videos, so make sure you guys check him out. And while you're here, you might as well drop a like and subscribe and join our free Discord to stay up to date with the latest and the greatest. Shout out to all of my chefs in there. Now, it was just about 2 weeks ago that King Vamp, aka Carti here, would co-headline and take center stage at Travis Scott's Cactus Con, where he would not only deliver a very dope performance, but also give the fans a taste of some new Opium-inspired merch. So for the next portion of this video, I wanted to highlight not only Opium's takeover of Cactus Con, but I also wanted to share some of the new pieces that we saw debut. Because if you're anything like me, you're likely tired of waiting for any new album updates, and since I wasn't able to attend, I figured what better video to make. So with that said, we've got our first piece of new Opium merch to debut at Cactus Con in the form of the following PBC shirt, which, for those of you that don't know, of course stands for Playboi Carti, and it's actually been part of his branding and spotted heavily over the last half year or so. Which leads us to this next t-shirt that definitely looks like another variant of the PBC branding we just saw, but this time with a little bit of a red accent to it. Now, while I was doing the research for this video, I was curious how these items were holding up on the resale market because, again, I was kind of jealous I wasn't able to attend, and surprisingly, the pieces that I found on Grailed are actually not that expensive, or not as much as I thought they would be, because historically I've seen Carti merch go for a whole lot more. Now, next up, we also had some merch available for the staff working this event, which I want to point out mentions that it is property of Opium, so I think that's a cool little nod. And we'd also have the following branded t-shirts here, which sees the merch replacing the letter I with the number 1 and the name Playboi Carti, as you guys can see on these hoodies. Now, if you're watching this video at this point and feeling just a bit underwhelmed with the latest Carti merch so far, the next few pieces are definitely a bit more interesting, as we'd see Carti team up with the likes of Hood by Air or HBA co-founder Shane Oliver to produce the following Baby Boy branded merch, who, for those of you that don't know, Baby Boy is of course Carti's alternate ego during this new era. Now, I know there are going to be some Carti fans watching this video feeling like the word HBA definitely sounds familiar, and that's of course because it is the title of one of the new songs Carti released earlier this year, but more importantly, the music video here in particular would help establish Carti's new brand in this new era, as we'd see him wear these new headpieces, which would actually be available for purchase at this Cactus Con, as you guys can see in this photo. So even though the headpiece is probably a hard pass for your boy, I'd love to know in the comments if any of you guys would pick it up or if you did. And speaking of headpieces, we'd also see the following YVL or Young Vamp Life branded fitted caps that would be available for the fans. And I feel like these fitted caps low-key illustrate Carti's transition from the whole lot of red era to whatever we're in right now, as he's definitely been adopting a more Atlanta-based aesthetic, so I feel like, again, these definitely fit it. Now, like I mentioned at the beginning of this video, we'd also see a number of Opium-based collaborations with the following Anonymous Club Polo tee, only to be followed up by this dope black YVL branded t-shirt, which might be one of my favorites despite how simple it is in this collection. And we'd also see some random one-off tees like this one that says "Put it all on red because the house always wins," which is of course a nod, I think, to Whole Lotta Red. And we'd also get this random still from a Playboi Carti music video, which I'm pretty sure is still yet to release despite him posting the teaser for some time. Now, next up, we'd also see a dope collaboration between Arcturix, Opium, and No Fear for the following Windbreaker. And for whatever reason, because I'm not sure who his target demographic is for this one, Carti would also share the following Opium branded Birkin bag on his Finstagram, which I can only imagine how expensive it would be. Now, if the Opium purse or bag isn't for you, Carti would also have a dope collaboration with legendary Japanese denim brand Evisu in the form of these jeans here, and I'd love to see some more of this collection in the future because Evisu's pretty dope. Now, additionally, this year, Carti would have one of his dreams fulfilled as he would collaborate with the Peli Peli brand, and fans would actually have the opportunity to pick up pieces from this collection at the Cactus Con, with most pieces retailing in the several thousands. Now, I just wanted to again mention and share that Carti has been using this PBC branding throughout the year, as we'd see these merch pieces at Tyler the Creator's Camp Flognaw. Like I mentioned earlier in the video, although Travis Scott headlined and curated this Cactus Con, the Opium boys definitely took over, so for the next portion of this video, I wanted to just share some of the latest merch from Ken Carson, who's spotted here wearing not only one of the new Peli Peli pieces, but also one of those dope new YVL fitted caps. Now, speaking of Ken and new merch in his world, he'd actually have a really dope moment that weekend as we would see the debut of his latest merch collaboration, this time with the legendary brand Ed Hardy, pictured in the following photos here. And it was at this Cactus Con weekend that we would see the debut of this new collection, which features an assortment of not only some dope t-shirts, but also some sick long sleeves as you guys saw Ken wearing there, as well as these sweatpants available in both black and white, and even some hoodies, because who doesn't love some damn hoodies? Now, similarly to how Travis Scott would go on to drop the entire collection online after the fact, thus making those pieces a little bit less exclusive than was advertised, Ken would also drop the entire collection online for Black Friday, to the surprise of most fans, myself included, and we'd also see most, if not all, of these pieces sell out within about an hour after going online. Now, speaking of the Opium boys, and thanks to my dog Chief Keef here in the Discord server earlier, we also got our first look at Destroy Lonely's newest tour merch in support of his latest tour. So I just wanted to share some dope pieces from that collection, which seemed to be reasonably priced, and while it's not an official piece of merch, I also wanted to share this dope bootleg here, and I'd love to know in the comments if you guys would like a video kind of covering the history of bootleg merch, or just one covering some of my favorite pieces. Now, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching, and I'd love to know what your thoughts are on the latest Opium and Playboi Carti merch we saw debuted at Travis Scott's Cactus Con weekend. Because as someone that's been a fan of him since the beginning of his career and actually met him during the self-titled era, I can't help but feel just a little bit underwhelmed with the last few collections of merch from this dude, because we definitely know what he's capable of, and we've seen a lot more creative pieces in the past. Plus, I feel like it's not that unreasonable for us fans to expect a nicer collection of merch, especially given that we're about to hit 5 years since the release of Whole Lotta Red, but maybe this dude will end up dropping a whole new collection when the album drops. And who can forget the first few waves of PBC merch we saw release earlier in the year in support of the album, which to this day still does not have a release date. Now, if you're fiending for some more Carti related content and you're interested in learning just how much his style and merch have evolved throughout his career, I put together this video that I'll go ahead and link at the end of this one. So as always guys, thank you so much for cooking with the kitchen. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video and learned something new. If nothing more, I hope that you all had a great weekend and a wonderful Thanksgiving if you celebrated. I'm super thankful for all of my chefs and viewers. So I just wanted to shout out the following chefs who recommended this video. And as always, let me know if you think this album is dropping. We are now in the final month of 2024. And remember to stay safe out there, guys. And remember, it's lit. Straight up. And peace.